Hey there friends, and welcome to LaughNapkin. My name is Frank, and today we're looking at 4 stories from r/Entitled Parents. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. This story comes from user RayDraco82. Okay, so for a bit of backstory, I wrestle in a semi-professional Lucha Libre promotion as a masked luchador. I've been doing this for almost 9 years now. My gimmick is basically I'm a wrestler who is part dragon. A good dragon though. In fact, in the program book we sell, it even has a warning. Approach with caution if his eyes are silver, as that is supposedly when the dragon is more in control. I wear silver dragon eye contacts as part of my outfit. Yeah, I got creative with my persona. Now on to the event. Now we do offer souvenirs, stuff like shirts, keychains, program books, etc. We also sell replica masks, which are expensive, and surprisingly the biggest sellers. Now the masks are priced based on the complexity of the mask. Mine is one of the more complex, and therefore more expensive ones. We also get a percentage of sales on the items, usually about 10 to 15%. This event happened around July of 2018. So it was around the intermission time, and we of course had our table set up to take pictures and get autographs and such. I had a few people come up and get autographs, and that's when the entitled mom came up with her son. She definitely looked like the type of person who did not want to be there. Nice clothes, designer handbag, no jewelry amazingly. The type to look down on others she perceived as beneath her. She walked up to my table. "Hello, ma'am," I say, extending my hand out to shake her hand. Entitled mom gives a very slight huff and ignores my hand. "My son really likes your mask." "Thank you. We do sell replicas if he's interested, though they are a bit on the expensive side." "Yes, too expensive for a costume, especially for something so crude and gaudy." Now that did hurt a little, but to each their own, I thought. "I'm sorry, but the owner sets the prices." "Well, you should give him yours then." Excuse me? You do speak English, right? I said you should give him your mask. You can go and buy another one yourself." "I'm sorry, but this mask is different than the replicas we sell. This one is sized for me, and is more expensive." "He should have yours then. He'll be very happy to own it. Besides," she leans down with her hands on her hips, almost resembling a chicken. "I can get you fired and sent back to Mexico with one call to immigration, you racial slur." I could see the kid off to the side. He was facepalming and trying to hide his face in shame at his mother's actions. He looked to be about 12. Now I have a pretty good temper, but this woman was starting to get on my nerves. I'm biracial, so I have been called that slur before. I also have a lot of tattoos, so I guess she thought I was from a gang or something. I pointed to the American flag tattoo I have on my left shoulder. "I was born here, ma'am. I can't give you my mask. I'll be glad to take a picture with your son, and I can autograph it for $10. She just rolled her eyes and gave out an annoyed sigh. "I wasn't asking. I was telling you to. I'm a paying customer. You have to do what I want." "No, I don't." By now, what I assume to be the son's father has come up behind the son. He gives an annoyed sigh and shakes his head. Nice dad. "Entitled mom, I'll buy him the replica mask he wants. Let's just go back to our seats and watch the rest of the show." She glared back at him with what I can only imagine to be the same look Medusa gave her victims. I almost swear I heard her hiss too. She then turned back to me. "Now you've upset my husband too. Just give me the mask and save yourself the trouble. I'm getting it no matter what." I see my boss walk up to the father and whisper something into the father's ear, and then the son's. They smile and nod. My boss then nods and gives me a wink. That was his signal that I didn't have to be polite anymore. My boss likes us to try to stay in character when appropriate, so I growl a bit and lower my voice a bit, as if I was going a bit more dragon. Me. "You're not getting my mask. Now leave me alone or you'll be asked to leave. You're embarrassing your family and annoying everyone else here." She gave a big gasp and seemed to puff herself up, like how certain animals do to look bigger. She shrieked at me. Just give me your mask, you dumb, ugly little racial slur. With that, she reached out and grabbed a hold of one of the horns on my mask. Now, if it's one thing you never do to a masked luchador, it's try to unmask them. It's very dishonorable and distasteful. I would never hit a woman, and I didn't this time. But I did grab her wrist and squeeze a bit to get her to let go though. Do not touch my mask. Now go away. She eventually let go after a few seconds. How dare you? You assaulted me. I'm going to have you arrested for that. Go ahead. I'm sure they'll enjoy hearing how you attacked me first. My boss intervened at this time as one of the security guards walked over. Boss, ma'am, you just assaulted one of my luchadors. You will leave this minute or you will be escorted out by security. I'm calling the police and having this place shut down right now. Security escorted her out. All the while she was carrying on and screaming out profanities. Now there was no round of applause, just a lot of thank God she's gone and such. The father then came up to the table. Nice dad, I'm so sorry for what my ex-wife just did. She always gets this way when she doesn't get her way. I didn't expect her to go that far, though that was fun to watch. The son was just grinning from ear to ear. Nice kid. You really scared the crap out of her. I chuckled a little. I found out that the father was a pretty successful car salesman and she didn't work, nor did she come from money. It was that attitude that led to their divorce. She had never really accepted that they weren't together anymore. He was real down to earth, and she had only come because she wanted to see what the son was being exposed to and how it was beneath her. He did buy a replica mask, and I autographed that for him. The police were called, but my boss simply showed them the video of the incident, and once I declined to press charges, they left. My boss took her picture and banned her from the premises after that. I still see the father and his son every so often at shows, and they always buy an autographed picture from me. So first of all, I want to thank OP for posting this story to the LaughNapkin subreddit. And also, dude, it sounds like you have a pretty cool job. Thank God she was banned, and you never have to see her again. This story comes from user BrolyDBS9001. Background: I usually sleep in my underwear during summer because it gets hot in my house. I also have curtains on my windows. Let's meet the cast. Entitled mom, lady who invaded my privacy, entitled kid, entitled little girl, and me. One day, I woke up and made me a bowl of cereal since I was home alone. I'm 18, so I have a small house. I walk past my window to the kitchen when I hear a knock on the door. I'm still only in my underwear, so I hurry to get some shorts on. I open the door and see entitled mom and entitled kid. Entitled mom: how dare you walk around in your underwear? What the hell? I'm in my own house, and I had the window closed with the curtain down. My daughter got curious and peeked through your window and saw your underwear. Well, it's my house, so if I wanted to, I could be naked in here. I slam the door. I make my cereal while entitled mom continues to bang on the door and shout. I ignore her and play some Minecraft. Alright, so I know this story was super short, but I just had to tell it to you guys. Entitled mom should really keep an eye on her daughter. I mean, who lets their kids look in their neighbors' windows? I know I personally would be afraid to see what's in my neighbors' windows. This story comes from user FrodoFox. So, I work at a grocery store. I'm also 24 years old, but my family has chronic baby face. This is important to the story. It's my day off, and I wanted to get some chores done like clean the garage and give my dogs a bath. But I'm out of dog shampoo, and the garage has a major spider infestation. So I run to the store I work at for dog shampoo and Big Killer. I then pass the beer aisle and think to myself how awesome a nice beer would be after I get all my work done, and pick out a couple single bottles of brands I've been meaning to try out. Behind me, I hear someone loudly exclaim, "Ahem!" I look behind me and see a woman with a full cart and a baby in the seat. I assume I must have been in her way, as I did have earbuds in, and I take a while to read the labels when I decide to try a new beer. "Oh, sorry," I say, moving out of the way. "You're not old enough to buy that, are you?" she scoffs. Yes, I am. I know, I look really young. I get it a lot." "Don't lie to me. I have 3 boys. 2 of them are teens. I know what you kids get up to." She then points to the big killer in my cart. "And I bet you're getting that to get high off of, aren't you?" "Miss, I'm old enough. It's my day off work and I'm getting some stuff done like killing spiders in my garage, giving my dogs a bath, and then relaxing with a nice beer." "Then show me your ID." "No." "Then you're lying." "Lady, I don't need to show you my ID unless you're a cop or an employee here. It has my private information on there." She huffs and looks around, possibly for an employee or someone else to back her up, but no one was around, so I just leave. A few minutes later, I'm at checkout in the self-scan, and guess who I see again? Entitled Mom. She glares at me again and watches as I scan the beers, and then wait for the employee to clear me for it. When the employee walks up, Entitled Mom loudly says, "You better check his ID, he's underage." The employee just kinda looks dumbfounded at her. Miss, he works here. I know for a fact he's over 21. I sold him beer before." Entitled Mom goes quiet. She probably wasn't expecting that I did in fact work here. She scoffs and says, "Well, can't ever be too careful these days," and walks off. The employee and I have a good laugh about it as she scans my ID. And then I pay for my stuff. I think that's the worst thing that ever happened about how I look young. I had in the past had a smoke shop employee doubt me until he saw my ID. But this was the craziest so far. Wow guys, what a big know-it-all. I bet she felt so dumb when she was put in her place by that employee. Oh, how I would have loved to see that. This story comes from Greg's Reddit account. I'm sitting in the lunchroom at work eating my soup while watching Fresh Prince on my phone, and some woman who I've never met before enters the lunchroom, and without even looking drops her baby carrier, diaper bag, and shopping bags at the table where I'm eating. The baby carrier catches the edge of the bowl, throwing delicious pea soup up into the air and onto the baby carrier and all over one of the shopping bags which had been set down on a chair. It was actually really impressive, and I'm kinda bummed that no one else saw it happen. Before the pea soup has even landed, the lady has left the lunchroom and is gone to talk to our boss. I take a look at the baby, and it doesn't seem like the baby got any soup on him, or her, and isn't burned, so my good deed for the day is done. I leave the mess. I only have 30 minutes for lunch, and this lady just wasted 10 minutes of it. I'm not about to spend the rest of my lunch cleaning her mess. And head out the door to grab some McDonald's across the street. Wanted to let Entitled Mom know what she did on my way out, but she was in my boss's office with the doors closed, and I was hungry. I get back from McDonald's with 1 minute to spare to get back to my desk. I get back, log in, and immediately my supervisor comes over and gives me the "we're not supposed to eat at our desk" talk, and I tell him what happened. He walks over to the lunchroom, peeks inside. He chuckles a little, then turns back to me. "Enjoy your lunch," he says. Once I'm about halfway through my McChicken, my supervisor tells me to go to the boss's office, so I do. My boss and a very pissed off Entitled Mom are sitting there. My boss asks why I dumped my soup all over Entitled Mom's things. I say I didn't. "Were you the one eating pea soup in the lunchroom?" "Yes." "So how did Entitled Mom's stuff get covered in pea soup?" "Well, I was sitting down eating, and she walked in and dropped the baby carrier on my food while I was eating it. Soup went everywhere, and I wasn't about to spend the rest of my lunch cleaning it, or go the rest of the day without eating because some person I've never met is throwing babies around the lunchroom. So I went across the street and bought another lunch." Entitled Mom gets shrill. "He's lying. He did it on purpose, and now all my new clothes are ruined. He could have burned my baby. You're going to pay me back for everything you destroyed. The carrier, already covered in dry puke. The clothes, her fault. And my purse." Didn't have a purse. Me. "What could I possibly gain by dumping soup on your things? You know what? Screw it. Boss, just go look under the baby carrier. What's under the baby carrier? Proof that she's lying? Entitled mom gives me the most confused look I've ever seen someone make. It was a combination of, "What are you talking about?" and "Why are you doing this to me?" I think she actually thought I did damage her stuff on purpose, and she could not believe that she could have done something so stupid. Which is funny because there has been an unsupervised infant in the lunchroom for 30 minutes now. Entitled mom chases after boss, and I'm following right behind them. When we get to the lunchroom, a small crowd had gathered around the baby, and the boss asks everyone to clear out. Boss didn't even have to move the carrier. Sure enough, under the carrier half sticking out, they find the paper towel I had put down as a placemat, the plastic utensils I had set out, the plate I had under my bowl, and the baggie of saltines I had bought in from home. Entitled boss sighs. Entitled mom, go home. What about my stuff? Take your things and go home. As it turns out, she was one of the supervisors who had been on maternity leave since before I started. She had come in because her and the boss were friends, and she wanted to come by and show all the clothes she had bought now that her figure came back. She blew her entire check on clothes that are now covered in pea soup and can't be returned. She took my half a McChicken on the way out and threw it in the garbage. My boss gave me a McDonald's gift card that she keeps for rewards, most calls, best reviews, etc., and gave me an extra break to go get another McChicken. I start supervisor training next week. Glad I won't have to work under entitled mom. That's it for today, guys. Real quick, I really enjoy making these videos, and only you can help me continue to do it. A simple thumbs up and comment goes a long way and helps out big time. So with that being said, I'll see you tomorrow.